hi everyone, or a cognitive function are about and process different categories of information, and because everything is energy and information, even people are also information. We are information who constantly process information. Depending on the preferences of each personality type for their perception, they may consider each person differently, putting them in different categories belonging to different functions. For example, I am INTJ or NITE if you prefer. A person who is really important to me belongs to my NI. A coworker or the people I help are in my TE. A person I appreciate is in my FI. The other people, if I consider them as other physical bodies, are in my SE. If I consider people as other living beings, they are in my FE. My family members are in my SI by default, but if I value them, they go back up in my function stack and are in my FI, and if they are really important or are part of my plan, they are in my NI. If I think someone can be useful or that we can help each other or work together, they are in my TE. It can be seen as rude, bad or disrespectful. I am just objective, detached and very analytical. We really function like computer and we all put things and people, information in different categories which are our function. We have preferences concerning the information and therefore also concerning the people, because people are also information. We are information who process information. How we are wired never change, however our consciousness is enough flexible and update if we want. It requires effort, energy from our part to use our lower function. For the ESFJ, the other people, stranger, friend, may enter in their FE, their family may enter more in their SI because they belong to their home inside physical structure, they are part of their routine, they have shared experience with them in the past, they are part of their chronology. They may neglect their family member and home life can be secondary for them. But their family member can rise in their esteem, in their function stack, if they have good time or harmonious relation with them. For ISFJ, they may consider more their family than other people, stranger and coworker, which seems pretty normal. ISFJ is probably the winner of this video. Their family and long-last friend, SI, is priority. Secondary, the stranger, other living being of emotion, FE. After, the new people considered as new mind, new soul, NE. And last, the coworker, TE. But it is more complex than that because people at work may be considered as part of their routine in their SI, as people they see almost every day for a long time. Their coworker, TE, may become their second family, and now everyone enter in their SI. ESTJ, their family, SI, may be secondary for them, what they do, the task, their work, TE taking over is priority. They may prioritize their family, SI, over their loved one in their FI. They may also neglect their friends, but they like doing things and collaborate, and we always do things, all people, whether they are stranger, family or friend, they are now in their TE at the top because they help each other. The ENTJ, they may neglect their loved one, FI, don't spend enough time with them because they prefer working TE on their goal NI, doing, learning, spend more time after work and weekend into working or meet collaborator, associate, investor, relationship related to their work or company. On another side, when they are in a relationship with a loved one, they may forget to keep contact with their family, SI, ignoring them, and one day realize they didn't pass enough time with their grandmother, parent or sibling, but because FI always function with TE and cannot exist without TE, and that they hire their family into their company. Everyone is now in their TE, and they all succeed. For the ISTJ, the things they do, their work, TE, and routine, SI, is more important than other people, living being, FE. They may neglect everyone, but if the people are part of their routine, or are from their family, home, if they know them for a long time, they are in their SI. And because they are smart and sensitive, all people, friends, are not anymore in their FE, but in their TE, all working together or helping each other. They know we are supposed to function all together. INTJ, they may consider more their coworker, TE, they can neglect their loved one, FI, and family, SI. They may consider everyone as living being of emotion, FE, or as other physical body, SE. But INTJ change their mind, they update and now consider people as NPC who help them to achieve their goal, so they enter in their TE. INFJ, they may consider more stranger the other physical body, SE, than their family, SI or coworker, TE, but the INFJ are wise, they see everyone as being of emotion, so everyone is now in their FE. INFJ, INTJ, SI demon, they may neglect their family, parent and sibling, in part because they may don't understand them. And as we know, NI, they go their own way, do things their own way, function differently from the majority, prioritizing their mental health, goal, ID, more than anything else. But they may know, since they are young, that we are all connected by our essence, and that we function together, that we are supposed to help each other. They ignore no one because everyone and everything is connected in their NI, that every life is important. INFP, they neglect people because people neglected and rejected them first. They ignore the other human, this other physical body, SE, but with the time people help them, they did things for them, TE, but INFP constantly change their mind, they no see people for their mind, NE, and they have too big heart, they love and consider everyone, FI. If people are good with them, they rise in their esteem, they see how good creatures they are, and are now in their FI. It is possible they may neglect their family, SI, by often being in their imagination and seeing all people for their mind, NE. INFJ, they may neglect the new people, friends, who enter in their life, the new body, SE, surely because they don't know them, don't know yet if they are good person or not, don't enter in their FE for the moment. They may also care more about stranger, other living being, entering in their FE, and therefore they neglect the meaningful connection they already have, NI, and their family and friends they have had for a long time, SI. But INFJ have NI, they may have difficulty to trust people, they decided to not neglect themselves anymore, and to bring the energy back to themselves, because they are tired. ESFP, they may ignore their family, parent, sibling, they are fed up to be at home, SI, they prefer to go outside and meet other humans, discover other physical body, SE, and because it is their first function, it's what makes them happy, it's what they prefer, what they like, so they love everyone and therefore all people also enter in their second function, FI. That means they regress in their function stack. ESFP, your function stack is weird. Or that means they like both the people they like and don't like. ESTP, they also ignore their family, parent, sibling, SI, who stay in the background of their psyche, in the unconscious side, but because SE and SI cannot exist without each other and function together, Their family are also physical body, SE. Maybe that means they like their family more when they are outside and not inside at home, or just that they unconsciously love more their family than their friend. ESFP and ESTP, they both can neglect people as living beings, FE, but they value them as physical body, SE, but overall they neglect themselves, TI, FI, especially their mental health and I. Really, SEDOM, you are like an IDOM. You are complicated and strange paradoxes. ISFP, they may neglect everyone as physical body, SE, so they decided to ignore them, to ignore this function, and now they are on the FI-NI loop and realize it doesn't make sense. And especially, they prefer ignore their coworker, TE, but with their NI tapping into the unconscious, they realize that at the essence, people are living being full of emotion, FE, each one having deep emotional background, FI. The TE and FE functioning with their FI. Now the ISFP value everyone because they discovered they are all different, unique and authentic living beings who suffer like everyone. We are all stuck in the same boat, and this boat is the planet Earth. Fortunately, it's a huge boat. That means we are all on a cruise, which is our spiritual journey, our self-discovery, acceptance and integration. And the goal is to stay on the boat, to stay authentic to ourselves, and if we lost ourselves in the water, in our emotion, everything will be okay, the boat is still here. ISTP and INTP, they prioritize themselves, TI, seeing themselves as machine or robot, the individual above all other people, living being and friend, FE. They may ignore all people, all being of emotion, but they are smart, they detect that it was not correct, that people are not just made of emotion, that they have potential, the FE connected to their TI, and now they see people also as mechanical beings, robots who can also process information and operate. INTP may neglect their family, SI, but it is because they ignore him first, which is fair. Also, they preferred avoid conflict, emotion and social situation, FE, because it drains their energy quickly without doing anything. They may also completely ignore other people, the physical body, SE. However, they are curious and want to know what people have in their mind, NE, and want to learn from them. They will aspire their knowledge and integrate it in their internal system, TI. So now all the people are in the mind of the INTP, which is scary. We don't know what weird things they have in their brain. ISTP may neglect their family, SI, but they are smart, they improve, and their robot has evolved. Their SI and SE function merge together, and their SE brings the FE. The ISTP who like no one now consider everyone as physical body, SE, are friends with everyone and like everyone, and now we can see the big smile on the face of the INTP and ISTP. ENTP and ENFP, they may neglect their family and friends they have had for a long time, SI, and they may see people, the physical bodies, as demons, like their own SE function, but SI working with NE, they wondered, what if my family was in reality my friend? And they realized that physical bodies, SE, have also mind that they can explore, NE, and now they are friends with their family, SI, and with the demon, SE. But the ENFP with the time have learned they cannot trust people, TI, they decided to neglect everyone. They were too kind with everyone, They need to recharge and to take care more of themselves and less of others. The ENTP have this power to be instantly friends with everyone. With the other mind, they can explore NE. They went to a party together, but soon after just 1 hour, they feel exhausted. They could no longer stand the emotional and physical atmosphere. They needed to recharge their brain and return home. And now, ENFP and ENTP are torture souls, not knowing if they are extroverted or introverted. They have an existential crisis. As you can see, this video is chaotic. We are all paradoxes. We are complex functioning because we can choose if we see or consider another person as body, S, mind, N, living being of emotion, F, or as their mechanism, their functioning, T. By default, overall, TE and TI see people as their functioning, mechanical aspect. They can work with, do things together, collaborate, help each other in a practical way. From what they can do, their usefulness as robot or NPC. FE and FI see people as other living being of emotion, do good things together or for each other, help each other in an emotional way. NE and NI see people as their essence, mind, psyche, soul, substance, all connected together as their behavior, how they can impact each other. SE see people as their physical bodies in surface, part of the outside physical world. SI see people as physical body too, but more part of their family, routine, people they see regularly, part of their life chronology. Each relation or connection between two persons is different. It may depend where they belong in their function stack, how they are perceived and considered. We cannot blame people, we cannot blame ourselves. It is the natural and default functioning of our psyche. However, the two sides, the two persons can improve, make effort, and help each other. One side, one person, has to consider, pay more attention, use more their lower function. The other side, the other person, has to listen, understand them, that it is not against them or us, and even help them to consider or use their other function and lower function. Remember, when we neglect a function, information associated to this function, or a person for too long, the information, event, people will come back to us and stronger. They might remind us that they exist and that we ignore them, and they are not happy. No one likes to be ignored, and no one should be ignored and neglected. All personality types can neglect or ignore people in a way or another due to their natural functioning, but if they learn from life and others and work on themselves, they become more aware and respectful, and they don't ignore people anymore. What we need to do is just to communicate, but it seems most people have lost this capacity. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.